Welcome back to MH Media Design. I'm glad you're here. Make sure to like and subscribe if you find this type of content interesting about how to make photos look really great. Last time, remember, we talked about how to make a dark photo look much better, and I'll put the link in the chat. Today, we're going to talk about how do we take kind of that normal photo that a lot of us have taken at a sporting event and turn it into something that looks a lot more focused on our individual and also maybe create some motion with coloring and filtering. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Okay, so here, this is our starting photo that we're going to start with, and we'll jump to Darktable in just a second, but just to show what we're doing here. So we'll start with this photo, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create some cropping focus on the individual, and then also do some styling and shading in a couple of different steps so that we can create this lighted area. You can do this for a lot of different things. This also works great for portrait photos as well. So let's go ahead and switch over to Darktable and we'll show you how to make it happen. So here we go. All right, so this is Darktable and we're using version 4.4.1. And we're going to go ahead and select the image we want to modify here in the light table and click on Darktable. Here's our image, and I think this is one that a lot of us have taken, and it usually ends up in the background. Look at this, we've got like sprinklers going off, all kinds of stuff going on. It's really crazy. What we're going to do first is always crop in our workflow. So we're going to try to do as little workflow before we understand whether we like the picture or not. So let's crop it down, and let's see if we can create something of value. So now it starts to look pretty good. We'll make sure we've got good level top and bottom there, and click on this. Okay, now this is something that we can work with, right? So now let's make some simple changes. It's still not the most interesting photo, but we can turn it into that in transition. So here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drop the exposure of this particular image. So let's make it dark. And then we're going to go ahead and come back and go up here. And we're going to take the white balance. So let's go to color. And let's go to white balance here. And let's bring the temperature up. We're going to create these golden areas. So we're going to take the temperature up and we're going to take the tint down just a little bit. We've got some competing things here, so we'll turn color calibration off. So this is a little bit too pinky red, so let's get that so that the background kind of looks a little bit muted, but we've got some brighter tones there. Okay, so now we're going to go to exposure. And here's our exposure. Remember, we dropped that down before. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create a second instance. So new instance of exposure. And we're going to go ahead and apply a drawn mask. And here we're going to scroll down a little bit. We've got some choices. Opacity, we'll leave that 100% for now. We're going to choose the brush. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and brush our subject plus the path leading up. So if we use our scroll wheel, we can change the size a little bit. We'll make that just about this size right here, and we'll go ahead and just color him in. And of course, if this was your image, you'd maybe spend a lot of time on it. But here we're going to go ahead and just do it broadly. So we'll color that in, and then also we're going to color, we're trying to create that vision of motion. So we're going to color this in here, and we're going to follow that along the line of the runner. So we'll try to keep this other runner out of it a little bit, and we'll just make sure that we get that whole area. What this does is it's going to go ahead and only apply this feature to that section that we're putting the mask in. So, and you can do this across any of the choices. So there we've got our highlighted item. Now we can go back up to exposure. Let's go ahead and increase the exposure. Right, and there, look, so now what we've got is we've got a highlighted area, and that looks pretty good. And our subject, we're going to go ahead and expose for the subject. So here, maybe that's just a little bit overexposed. We'll make that just a little bit brighter so we don't have quite as much shine. Now next, we're going to go down to this area still in exposure, and we're going to increase the feather radius. We're going to increase the blurring radius as well. And we're going to click this button here so that we don't have to see that mask anymore. So now we've got the chance to feather and adjust this to our liking. And maybe adjust the exposure just a little bit up. And there you go. Now we've got a photo that looks much better in terms of focus on a subject, taking the rest of the photo out, creating a directional path. And so here was our original image. And here is our, and this is our updated version. So original, updated, much more focused, much more intense. You can really feel the strength and strive of that finishing line in this photo, and I hope you really look to use it for your other photos as well. I think it's a really great way to do things. So thanks for watching that, and we'll go ahead, see you next time. Much appreciated. We'll see you soon.